I'm Sock Marionette, doing business as Bargain Counter Argument, and I'm a middle-aged lady, counting down to Valentine's Day and observing Flip Through Friday. So, I do have a book in mind for today, but first I want to share some lovely Valentine's mail I got, including a card from Gina of Perfectly Imperfect Junk Journals, a link in the description, who sent me this beautiful handmade card. And you can see she has this cutout that is literally a love heart, and then some additional hearts, and it's just gorgeous. And I got this on a day that wasn't going so great for me, so it was wonderful to get that happy mail on such a dreadful day. Really perked me up. And then she wrote a nice message on the back, including love and hugs. Could always use those. I also, she included this patch. You can see XO Gina. So bring it up here. And, there we go. You can put that on a tree. Or put it in a journal or something like that. So, different things I can do with that. I haven't decided yet. And I also, yesterday, it was Friday as I'm recording this, so Thursday, I got a package from my buddy Kristin of the Never Ending TBR in Kristin's Corner, link in the description. And it is this beautiful box, a lovely shop, styling accessories. And look at that box. Isn't that pretty? And it's nice and sturdy too. And it contains a tiara and a note that said Happy Valentine's Day. Anyway, this is the tiara. I wore it in a video last night, but I think you probably couldn't see it very well. It has this nice heart with a dangling gem, and it is rose gold, and it is lovely, and I look forward to wearing it in many videos to come. So thank you, Kristin. And speaking of Kristin, she and I are both reading Meet Cute, and she's doing YouTube shorts about each short story counting down to Valentine's Day, as is Sarah of Reading Category Romance, who is also celebrating Countdown to Valentine's Day by featuring a different category romance with the word Valentine or Valentines in the title. A link in the description. So today's story, I actually already read it. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. And there is the paper for that, and it was Say Everything by Huntley Fitzpatrick, which wasn't a particular favorite of mine. I am going to go through this book on next week for Flip Through Friday, and you'll be able to see all of the papers, and I'll tell you what I thought of each story as I go. Today I have a different main event. I've been reading a different category romance from a different category romance line every day, counting down to Valentine's Day, so I thought that Flip Through Friday today could be The Art of Romance, Mills and Boon and Harlequin cover designs. And you can see a whole bunch of them here. And this, I don't know what library it belonged to. I got it used on Amazon, and it was in a library collection though, because you can see it still has the Dewey Decimal Call number on the side. So this was published by Prestel in, I believe, 2006, and by Joanna Bowring and Margaret O'Brien. Presumably not the actor. Oh, Metropolitan Library System. There we go. Presumably not Margaret O'Brien, the actor, but who knows. And there is a kind of a brief introduction talking about the history of Mills and Boon and Harlequin. It's a kind of concentrated history. There's some vintage pictures, old pictures of what things were like. And then it talks about how Mills and Boon started in 1908, and they didn't just publish romance at first, and then they made the shift over. So, for example, here we have this kind of really cool Jack London book that they published in 1912, and another one. The Cruise of the Snark. That would be any cruise that had me on it. girl who saved his honor. The Fortune Hunters, The Duchess in Pursuit. Oh, that's amazing. There's a little bit of glare from the light. The Undesigning Widow. Ooh. She just wants to be left alone. Oh, Joan Sutherland. Yeah. Jungle Love, a tropical tangle by Louise Gerard, author of Assault and the Slave. That is some prime 1924 racism for you there. Yeah, that's offensive to single-celled animals. Jennifer Disappears. Okay, Louise Gerard. She was really bringing the stuff. Secondhand Cinderella, Desire is Blind. This is when we're really moving over into romance for Mills and Boon. Nobody asked me. Mist Across the Hills. Queen of My Heart. Grace Before Meat. Now, last week for Flip Through Friday, I read a Sarah Seal book and quite enjoyed it. So, okay, now we're getting into the war years. They called her evil. A Mills and Boon love story. You got a little romance on ice. Wife into wife. Westward to My Love. You Are That Someone. House of Glass. Anyway, so we're really a heart to pity. I'm not going to go through every single page, but I will flip through. Rink Rat. This was published by Harlequin, and they also published things before they just switched to being romance exclusively, but I'm not sure about this one. It's giving me heated rivalry vibes, if you know what I mean. That one? Oh my goodness. Murder in Grease Paint. Doctors Are Different. Okay, The Man in Authority. According to Harlequin at that time, all of them were all the time. The Good and the Bad. So anyway, oh, Red Lotus, the little-known prequel to White Lotus. And, yeah. And now here we're getting into 1962. Heart, Have You No Wisdom? Probably not. Dating Without Tears. You see, Gina McLeod is still at it. Joyce Dingwell, I believe she was Australian. And, the alliteratively named Betty Beattie. Lucifer's Angel, Violet Winspear. And here you have, let's see, Mountain of Dreams. Okay, so here we have 1965, Lucifer's Angel. This might be a reissue because he's got a very 70s kind of look to him. And then this is probably the original. His hair is a little shorter. So we're moving into the 60s and they're changing the cover, overall cover design quite a bit. Okay. Violet Winspear again. You can always slow this video down if you want to get a closer look at them. These here is the Mills and Boon cover of Master of Comus. And I'm sharing that specifically because Stormy has the Harlequin cover of Master of Comus. She has that whole book. So my buddy Stormy of Storm Reads, link in the description. And I looked at it and I read that book probably when I was in junior high, and I looked at the cover and I said, oh, it's Leonie. I actually remembered. So now we're moving into the late 70s. I think Possession, this was actually the same cover. Not the cover overall, but the image was the same one they used for the Harlequin Presents edition of Possession by Charlotte Lamb. But I'm pretty sure this Frustration cover was different for the North American Harlequin edition, as was Compulsion. Savage Surrender. I don't remember ever seeing that cover on Harlequin Presents, and I know I've read Savage Surrender. Read most of Charlotte Lamb's books. She's a particular favorite of mine. The Wolfman, Sandra Clark. I believe she's Canadian. Margaret Way. Sarah of Reading Category Romance is spotlighting her as the author for February. Return to Yesterday. I'm pretty sure I read it, and I'm pretty sure it had a different cover as a Harlequin Presents. Okay, now we're getting into super romance, and I believe I have this book with this cover because that's what I have. I have the super romance. So we're moving into the late 80s. This is good. This is the Greek edition of A Reason for Being by Penny Jordan, and then here is the Hebrew edition. Yeah, Hebrew edition, and here is the Mills and Boon edition. So those are all the same book, and these two, the Greek and English covers, UK covers, are the same, and the Hebrew edition cover is different. And this is Harlequin Temptation. That was the books that were a little spicy, a little more spicy than the usual fare. And like I said, you can always slow the video down if you want to take a closer look at these. Euro romance. I've never seen that before, but this would have been in 1993 when the EU was really getting going in terms of politically. This is highlighting Spain, highlighting Italy. Oh my goodness, they kind of look like the cover for the poster for Groundhog Day. She's got that Andie MacDowell hair, and he's got the Bill Murray smirk. This is the Japanese translation of Besieged by Charlotte Lamb. There's been a major redesign of the Mills and Boon cover, which makes it actually reminiscent of this Love Swept cover, which is from about more than 10 years earlier. And by then, Love Swept had changed their covers considerably, but everything old is new again. Harlequin American Romance. And you can see there's been another change here. Oh, this is Mills and Boon Presents. Okay. Another Japanese translation, this time of a Violet Winspear title. Mills and Boon Enchanted. And this is Mills and Boon Medical in 2006. And here is the manga edition of Heart of a Ruler by Marie Ferrarella. I like them. And this is Harlequin Blaze, or Mills and Boon Blaze, which was also Harlequin Blaze, which was like really spicy. I think that was as spicy as it got until like around 2019 when they introduced the Dare line, which is, whoo, boy. Mills and Boon Intrigue. This is really the emphasis here is on Mills and Boon rather than Harlequin, but they do have some. And Lucy Gordon's This Man and This Woman. Again, the manga. And here we have You Again by Francine Kraft. This is Kamani Romance, which is the emphasis was on non-white characters, specifically African-American characters. And 9.5 Days, which is another Blaze. And this is in Twice a Princess. I'm not sure what language that is. I believe that's Polish, but I'm not sure. His Majesty's Mistress. Ooh. The Guardian's Forbidden Mistress. Oh my goodness. 2008. Oh, so this book is from 2008, not 2006. I misspoke earlier. Anyway. So that is 100 years of Mills and Boon and 60 years of Harlequin in cover art. I wish they had had a little bit more discussion of the techniques used and why they used them and that kind of thing, but it's nice just to look at them because they're really amazing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Flip Through Friday. If you did, please like, comment, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm not the boss of you, and I hope you have a good day. or night.